Part 2 to the sequel about mystics and the hair. Now, as I told you previously, hair is related to the word horror. Horror is something to be feared of or dreadful. This is why the hair is referred to as the dreads. Now, to the ancients, the hair had a connection to the cosmos. Take the letter O from Cosmo, add the E, add the ology. Ology means study of. Cosmo and ology is where you get the concept of cosmology, the study and the science of the hair. So, to the woman in ancient times, the longer her hair, the greater her magic she could work. The hair was power. The hair is in accord with growing upward. Up is the light, as like a plant. Plants and veggies are herbs. Herbs are used for healing the nation, as written in the Bible. So the plant grows upright, and so does your hair grow upright. So in the tantric deals with Hindu. Anytime you see that word, you'll understand what it means. But to the tantric studies in Hindu, the hair had a cosmic connection. And so the binding and the twisting and the unbinding of the hair brought about cosmic forces that could create and destroy. Now, if you go into ancient America, even still to this day, if you look at natives, they grow their hair. The longer the hair, the greater the spiritual status. Even look amongst what you call the Hopi tribe, Hopi Indians, the Coconina and the Navajo. They had rituals where they would twist and bind their hair together. And when they used a yucca seed, they twist, bind their hair together. That's where you get the saying of putting your heads together, because in marriage it showed that they were united as one. So the hair is also synonymous with wisdom. Why? Because from the youth to an adolescence, your hair is first black. It starts black. It starts out as black. Black is darkness. Darkness is synonymous with falling. That's why it's called the nightfall. But as you grow older, you gain wisdom through experience. Your hair turns gray. It turns white. White like wool, written in the Bible. So your hair turns white. It's lighter. And light is what? Sunlight. It's talking about truth. So you gain more wisdom when your hair turns white. But in Old English times, if you references, they had practices to the English where it was written in a book called the Maleficarum. And these pictures showed and told stories of images and of the women being labeled heretics, burnt at the stake. And in this book, it spoke on how they believed that the woman's hair had power, so much power it could conjure up hail, windstorms, change the weather, and cause natural disasters. So this is why you will see the witches always portrayed with long hair, because their hair, like a tarot lady, it had power. So much power that it could cause the twist or a twister. This is why twists are referred to in the hair or the braids. You call them twisters. Twisters like a tornado or a storm. The ancients in Rome believed that the meteorites that would travel through the sky was a part of the hair of a cosmic woman. There's also similar tales spoken in medieval times to the Scots, the Tudors, the Stuarts, Lord Stuarts who took over Scotland, who got things scot-free. During the Crusades, the Christian Crusaders, when the knights would go about the sea on a cruise. Cruise, by the way, is not positive. It's not something where you think you should celebrate and lamp in the sun, because a cruise is related to the phonetic crew, which you can find in Rosicrucian. Rosicrucian means Red Cross. Red Cross is the flag that was held by the pilgrims when they made the voyage on a cruise. A cruise is a wartime mission, not a vacation, contrary to what you were taught. But nevertheless, the knights, the wives and the sisters and the female spouses of the knights on the Christian Crusades, their women, they would not comb their hair when the men traveled at sea, because they believed that their hair could conjure up sea storms and wreck the ships. And so, some side note, you've heard many debate about slave ships. Well, cruise ships were upgraded, recycled, and broken down from the old slave ships. So things aren't what you think they are. If you think those words are false, then look again. So many of the cruise ships that you go and you spend $1,000 on were ex-slave ships. You got to think industry. So ships were broken down and recycled. But carrying on with the hair. The hair, as I've spoken, the hair had a cosmic force, a cosmic power to it. It could conjure up weather storms and make catastrophic disasters. This is where you get this story of the gray-haired wisdom, the woman Storm, the Lady Newton Storm in X-Men. She could use power to conjure up the weather. But carrying on, we can even go into Egypt with this. When you look at this concept of the hair, when a devout worshiper of the cult of Isis or Serapis, when they studied in those religious schools, they had to shave their hair. I'll show you a picture of this. Look at the Scipio Africanus. You can also see him. They were taught in the ways of the Egyptians, and a lot of them, Romans and Greeks, would shave their hair. And so this is where you get that practice and that custom going over into the Buddhists. Remember, the Buddhists shave their head. The head is referred to as the dome. When you open up the dome, you let the light in. Therefore, the priests in the monastic temples could study and get enlightened. My favorite subjects about these mystic teachings of hair and religion in the Bible, in Genesis, when it talks about sons of God and angelic beings coming down, like it's written in the book of Enoch. But the women's hair could also lure in angels. So when you read the Bible, I believe it's Genesis, it talks about the Nephilim, men who came down. Now, I understand when you think about this concept of gods, some of y'all might tend to be y'all might be moved the wrong way because you've been misinformed about the concept. But I'll give you an understanding. Sons of God versus sons of man, they're two different things. You think this is folktale, folklore, it has no basis in reality? Well, that's wrong. I can give you an example. Like men now that you see is not like Cro-Magnons or Neanderthals. You're different. That's what's written in the Bible. Sons of man are not like sons of God. Sons of man do things like what you see in the movie Experiment by Forrest Whitaker. Look that movie up. That's how sons of man behave. They screw each other over. They don't love each other. They build governments of tyranny. They tear down citizens, keep them in poverty. That's how sons of man act. Sons of God, which I think is fact, are the ones who could build pyramids. Like the ones in America, Teotihuacan, the ones in Africa, the pyramids in Giza. Those are things that are done by sons of God. We don't create those structures nowadays. We don't have the knowledge. We're not advanced like we were in those times, or whoever walked these lands. Now, you might think that's blasphemous, but there's a lot of things I haven't told you. You got ancient scriptures before Egypt, small cylinder seals, which depict those three pyramids. So when you go amongst the ancient Americans, those priests down there in South America, if you read the old books, it'll tell you that they said that those pyramids were there before they were there. So that means either the dating is wrong or there's something more to the story we're not being told. And so in the next sequel to the video, when I'm speaking on the hair, I'll break that down as well. But like, comment, subscribe.